Usually, every Wednesday, like clockwork, you always see something on social media. You always see something on Twitter, where I reside during these shows. And I always see polls or questions. Which one are you watching? Which one are you watching and why? NXT or AEW? And you always get these people who are choosing one over the other, and I don't know why. I will never understand why. I watch AEW live, and then I watch NXT after I finish giving you guys AEW here on the podcast. I always go back and watch NXT on DVR. But one of the bigger things that people discuss when it comes to NXT and AEW is why AEW is winning the ratings. Why have they so dominantly defeated NXT in the ratings every single week outside of a week or two during the Survivor Series build? Well, main roster stars like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins and Ricochet and AJ Styles, they obviously help the cause. You're not going to do that every single week because brand individuality needs to be a thing on WWE TV. There needs to be separate rosters. You can't break that. And I hope that's the case for a very long time. They certainly have the resources to keep it that way and do that. But one of the reasons why NXT has lost is not because it's a bad show. NXT is always a very good show. I can't even remember the last time there was a bad NXT episode. But one of the reasons why AEW wins is because I feel like, and I think other people feel this way as well, there's more of a must-see factor with AEW. There's more unpredictability with AEW. NXT goes out there, gives you what they give you, and there really isn't any element of surprise. And I think last night's show was a perfect example of that. It was a great go-home show. I wish I'd see go-home shows like this on Monday and Friday, to be perfectly honest with you. If there's a blueprint for what go-home shows should be, I think Heyman and Bruce need to look at what happened on Wednesday night. But it wasn't overly exciting. It wasn't overly unpredictable. Yet people on TakeOver defeat people who weren't on TakeOver. You had people look strong going into TakeOver. You had new feuds set up following TakeOver. And you had NXT try and dive into that younger demographic by really pushing some really, really great shit with Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne and their hijinks and their adventures getting to Portland for their NXT Tag Team Championship match. All in all, it made for a very, very good show. Downright great show as far as in-ring action goes, but there's no sense of unpredictability. There really isn't. They did one thing, and that's build towards TakeOver. They got you excited for TakeOver. They set up new feuds. And whoever wasn't on TakeOver really didn't fare too well last night. It's pretty much the basis of NXT last night on the go-home show for TakeOver Portland. But we're going to go over it today here on the podcast. I don't want to sit here for an hour covering NXT because, honestly, though I love NXT, not much happened last night as far as storylines because we are there. We're at the exit. We're at that door. We're waiting to walk on through, and that exit is Sunday night in Portland for TakeOver. So Sunday, we're going to have a TakeOver day. I'm going to be live in the afternoon going over preview and predictions. We're going to go over the conference call and what Triple H has stated on the NXT TakeOver conference call. And then we're not going to be live, but I'll be covering TakeOver on Sunday night. In depth, very analytical, very detailed as always for these big shows. But today, I want to focus on what happened as far as who's on TakeOver, who's not on TakeOver, where they're going with new feuds potentially after TakeOver. I don't want to sit here for an hour and be overly detailed like I usually am, so we're just going to go right into it. We're going to go over the winners, the losers, what I thought of each individual matches, what I think of certain talents coming out of last night's show. Should be a good time. So if you guys enjoy it, make sure to hit that thumbs up and let me know what you think down below. Follow me on social media. As always, JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button, very important, and turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys missed any videos on the channel, including my Monday Night Raw, which was great, my Monday Night Raw review, the bite heard round the world from Shayna Baszler and her vampiric ways, make sure you guys go and check that out. And last night's AEW Dynamite review, which was awesome. Awesome show last night from Austin, Texas. If you guys missed that, link will be down below for everything that you might have missed this week. NXT opened up with Mauro Ranallo going over the show. Adam Cole and Kushida non-title in the main event, and something that I was very much looking forward to after WWE.com uploaded a clip of their coming to blows in the back during one of the recent NXT house shows in Florida. Johnny Gargano versus Cameron Grimes on the show tonight. Man, I couldn't wait to see both of those guys go at it, and man, they did not disappoint. Roderick Strong started the show off, and he rushed to the ring, power walked himself to the ring, said he isn't about the Undisputed Era, it's not even about a championship at this time, it's about the Velveteen Dream, putting his wife, Marina Shafir, and his son's face on his wrestling gear. He knew it wouldn't take long for Dream to make it personal. He says he's going to hurt Dream, and then he demanded an apology. So Bronson Reed's music played, and Bronson Reed, how he factors into this. Well, the Undisputed Era was kind of bullying the Full Sail locker room last week, and they made their rounds. They walked by Kushida. They dumped Kushida in a trash bin, which he doesn't deserve because that's where SmackDown on Fox belongs, not Kushida. And then Bronson Reed was standing in the way of the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole was like, whoa, 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 big man, we don't got a problem with you. So Bronson Reed looked down at Kushida and said, oh, now you do have a problem with me. So he's just defending his friend Kushida, and that's what led to this match here. Bronson Reed was taken out by a Roderick Strong knee, and they disposed of him last week, so Bronson Reed wants his revenge this week. This one went actually longer than I anticipated, and I was kind of surprised to see Bronson Reed get this, top of the hour billing here on NXT for the go-home show, but the Roddy Velveteen Dream feud is picking up, and rightfully so. Dream's been out, and it needs to come to a blow. So they're throwing both of these guys right into the fire. So Bronson Reed got in the way, and we get a match here to open the show. Fast forwarding to the end, this was kind of slow and prodding and methodical in some ways, wasn't very overly exciting. We all kind of knew that Roddy was going to win, and then I was thinking to myself, oh shit, maybe he's not going to win. But I don't know why NXT would have Roddy go into his match with the Velveteen Dream on a losing end of things. You want both guys to look strong. Velveteen Dream got one over on the Undisputed Era. Roddy more than likely would get a win here over Bronson Reed. They both look like winners going into their eventual match. It makes sense. So Reed hit a suplex, and he was being beat down by Roddy, so he hit a suplex to get out of a big offensive onslaught by Roderick Strong. Both guys sold a bit. They went back and forth with forearms. Reed's power is unbelievable, and he took down Strong. Elbows, took down Strong repeatedly. Corner clothesline, splash for two. Roddy blocked the suplex, and then he got caught in a fireman's carry. Reed draped Roddy on the ropes, then hit a hard lariat. Nearly turned Roddy inside out. Power slam and a senton by Reed. Reed pulled down the straps, so now business is about to pick up. He fired himself up. He went high. Roddy charged him and followed. Step up enziguri. Second rope suplex. And Roddy covered for only a 2 count. Reed kicked out. So Reed bailed. Roddy hit a wrecking ball dropkick. Lights went out. And then they turned purple. And Roddy looked up the ramp for the Velveteen Dream, who was not there. Undertaker-like mind games from the Velveteen Dream. You see the Dream experience happening on the stage, and Roddy looked up because he wants a piece of the Velveteen Dream. Normally, I'd say, dumb babyface syndrome. In this case, it's dumb heel syndrome. But it worked. And this is where I thought Roderick Strong was going to lose the match. And I thought Bronson Reed was going to take advantage of this untimely distraction by the Velveteen Dream. It actually didn't work out that way. Reed hit a tope and rolled Roddy back into the ring. Reed went up top for a frog splash, which I wish he would have hit, man. He's got a fucking devastating frog splash. because he's a big boy. And, man, nobody's kicking out of that. Roddy recovered, hit a jumping knee on Reed, who came off the top rope and covered Bronson Reed for the win. This one went nearly 15 minutes. And Roderick Strong got the win even after the distraction from the Velveteen Dream. Dream did not appear in the match or during the match, but he appeared after the match. He appeared on the screen. He was wearing his Hollywood Dream getup, which would look perfect in WrestleMania 37. Hollywood WrestleMania with the Velveteen Dream. Call me up, Vince. Actually, please don't. Now, continue to call Marina up. And that's exactly what he had on his pants. Call me up, Marina. Again, on the trunks. He asked, what if someone took something from you? Looking at Roddy. You lost the North American Championship, but you still have a family. What if something happened to you? If anything happens to you, someone, somewhere, will fulfill all of Marina's dreams. And then the camera showed Dream's gear with Dream, Marina, and Roddy's son all together on his pant leg. And Roddy obviously was very upset. This match is booked for next week. It should have a lot of heat. It should be exciting. I was not a big fan of their first match when Roddy beat the Dream for the North American Championship. We did get a glimpse as to how the Dream was out, and he went into detail about how the Undisputed Era took him out. They took him up to a production truck, and they threw him off. So at least we got some backstory on that, because all we seen was him laid out and the Undisputed Era walking away, and then all of a sudden Dream was out for about 3 months. So this is going to be good, and I hope it lives up to the heat that we're seeing right now boil between Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong, and I hope it's better than their last encounter. So we'll see what happens next week. The match is official for NXT. The Broserweight stuff is really fucking good, man. And the one thing that I said is that the pairing, it doesn't seem like this oddball pairing just for the sake of an oddball pairing. It seems like they actually gel together. And it's like this, it's the odd couple. It's Matt Riddle, who is bro, and Pete Dunne, who doesn't smile. And it just works beautifully. Sometimes complete polar opposites are perfect for one another. So what they did on NXT last night is you've seen several sequences throughout the show, which I absolutely loved. I was actually waiting for more and more and more of these segments throughout the show. I couldn't wait to see what was next. And the first installment, we got the Broserweights standing out in front of, I guess, Full Sail. And they were standing there with their Dusty Cup trophy. Riddle wanted to go on a road trip. They had a giant trophy standing in the backseat of a white Mustang convertible. So Pete Dunne was driving, and he was on the European side of the road. So they got pulled over. All of a sudden you hear a siren from a cop car behind them. They get pulled over. Matt Riddle's like, bro, don't do anything. Don't say nothing. Let me do the talking. And obviously, at this point, the car got impounded. And they're lucky they didn't get arrested. But the car got impounded because Pete Dunne did not have a driver's license. So at this point, the car was being impounded, and they need to come up with another plan on how to get themselves and the trophy to Portland. Really good stuff. I'm loving it. Really loving the stuff between Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne, who I expect will be the new NXT Tag Team Champions. Kathy Kelly spoke to Angel Garza about his upcoming match with Lio Rush, number one contender for the Cruiserweight Championship. Angel said he never lost that championship, and Rush showed up and said, Garza, the guy that Garza beat, isn't the same guy that he was a couple of months ago, meaning himself. Lio Rush has been on hiatus since he lost that championship. So whether Garza likes it or not, he's getting his championship back. I kept my eyes on Garza during this entire promo, even though Lio Rush was talking. The condescending dick-like smile that Garza was showcasing to Lio Rush was absolutely hilarious. The guy has got money written all over him. It's unbelievable how Garza just comes off on TV, the way you see him. He looks like a guy that you want to just fucking slap upside the head because he just looks like a fucking prick. But man, is he fucking awesome. So I couldn't wait to see what these two guys do. And their first match was incredible. And I'm excited about this. And my idea here was that Garza has to win. Garza and Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight Championship. Garza was never pinned. That was my thinking. Man, was I wrong. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Candice Lerae versus Dakota Kai. This one went 9 minutes. Dakota Kai actually got a surprise victory here. Again, not really surprising. Dakota Kai needed some stiff competition going into her match with Tegan Nox at TakeOver. And Candice Lerae is absolutely at the top of the ladder when it comes to top-tier competition in the women's division for NXT. So, surprising yet not surprising. Like I said in the beginning, everybody on TakeOver won on the go-home show. Everybody not on TakeOver really set up a good glimpse into what NXT might be thinking in the future. Strong, and they set up a good glimpse of what is to come possibly, but everybody on TakeOver got their victories and looked strong going into Portland. Candice ended up bleeding in this one. Don't know where from. I think it was from a turnbuckle spot. So on the apron, Kai stomped Lerae. She went for a shot to the face, but Lerae moved and Kai hit the post. And Kai yanked Candice into the turnbuckle, and Candice spilled to the ground, and all of a sudden you see her bleeding from the nose. I'm assuming that was from that spot. So Candice hit a bulldog from the top rope. They went to commercial. Back from commercial, the bulldog from the top rope. The blood was cleaned up. We didn't see Candice bleeding anymore. Pump handle German suplex by Candice. She put on the Gargano escape, and Kai made her way to the ropes. Lerae rolled her back, but Kai was able to roll up Lerae for a surprise victory here on NXT. Candice Lerae went after Dakota after the match was over, which kind of signals that we could see this be a possible feud after TakeOver. Dakota grabbed the ring bell and beat Candice in the midsection with it until Tegan Nox just literally came out of nowhere, flew out of the crowd, and went after Dakota. And we had officials and referees break them up with a chant of "Let them fight." Now, this match is happening at TakeOver, and I am not really sure if I would put this on the TakeOver card. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. It is a street fight. It should be good. I do enjoy both women's work. But as we will discuss a little bit later, I do not think that this is TakeOver worthy, especially over the Cruiserweights. I'm just throwing that out there. Nothing against either of these women, but I would much rather see one match over the other. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. Johnny Gargano versus Cameron Grimes. This was easily the match of the night. Cameron Grimes and Johnny Gargano got into it at not a TakeOver show, but at a NXT house show on the road to TakeOver. They had a coming to blows. They were arguing over something. I don't know. Maybe Johnny didn't like his hat. Maybe Johnny didn't like the fact that Cameron Grimes is a avid alligator hunter. I don't know. I don't even give a shit at this point. These two are fucking phenomenal at what they do. Johnny, you guys know my love for Johnny. Johnny is one of the best in the entire company, but Cameron Grimes, the runner-up for the NXT Breakout Tournament. ACH, where are you, bro? If you remained quiet, you could have been in this situation. Jordan, whatever the fuck his name was. I can't even fucking remember his name anymore. Who gives a shit? ACH, that's how fucking irrelevant he is now, right? So, Jordan Miles, there you go. Drew a blank for a second. But what I'm trying to tell you is, runner-up in the NXT Breakout Tournament, Cameron Grimes is quickly becoming one of my most favorite things, not on NXT, but in WWE in general. He is easily becoming one of my favorite in-ring workers in the entire company. The guy is fucking great. And I might as well talk about him here now, because his match came up next. But it is downright scary to think how good Jordan Grimes and Angel Garza are right now, at their age right now. Grimes hasn't been in NXT that long. I wasn't all that familiar. I knew who he was. I knew who he was in Impact Wrestling. I did not really get a grasp of how he worked until he hit NXT. And then Angel Garza, I mean, the same thing with him. I didn't really know anything about him at all upon his arrival in NXT. And then when I seen him in that first match, in that breakout tournament, I'm like, this guy's got it. I knew it immediately. From his in-ring work, to his attitude, to his cockiness, to his charisma. That Latino, I'm a fucking playboy and nobody's better than me, just type vibe that he gave off. He was just great. It is downright scary to think how good these guys are now and what these guys are going to be a year from now, 2 years from now. And the one thing that I love most about watching a guy like Jordan Grimes and a guy like Angel Garza progress is to see them progress week by week. These guys are fucking flying by, progressing every single week. Normally you see it. Normally you acknowledge it. It's downright scary to see the progression that both of these guys are making week by week by week. These two are the future of the WWE. And if you're not on board, you better get on board, because at this point, I don't think either of these guys can do anything wrong. And now you know why Shawn Michaels and Triple H are high on Cameron Grimes. It's no secret. All you have to do is go and watch this match. These guys killed it. This is a takeover match in the making. Maybe for something bigger. Maybe for the North American Championship. Johnny didn't really last long as the North American Champion. Johnny didn't really last long at all as any type of champion in NXT. He always ran into some wall. But man, I'd love to see this be a match for some sort of championship in the future. Whether it's the North American Championship, whether it's the NXT Championship. I'd love to see Cameron Grimes wrestle for a championship, period. I'd love to see Cameron Grimes versus Keith Lee. Imagine the work that those guys could do for the North American Championship. Unbelievable work by these two. And Cameron Grimes, Angel Garza, two guys you have to... And Isaiah Swerve Scott, I'm going to throw him in there as well. You got to look out for him. Absolutely nothing these guys can do in that ring is bad. Nothing. They are three top-level performers that I can't wait to see grow. I want to see more of Scott. In fact, I think it's a crime that we haven't seen more of Scott. But Angel Garza and Cameron Grimes, top of their fucking class right now. I don't think anybody's doing it any better. This was awesome. This one went 13 minutes, and you got to go out and watch it for yourself. I will not do it justice. Grimes was in control, and towards the end of this thing, we got a German suplex with a bridge for a 2 count. Johnny went to the apron, rolled in Grimes for a 2. Tornado DDT by Gargano, nailed Cameron Grimes. Inverted face lock and slam by Gargano. Big lariat by Gargano. Slingshot spear from the apron by Gargano. He was on fire, nailing his spots. Grimes caught Gargano with a roll-up. Reverse and twisting Uranagi for 2 count by Grimes. Forearm exchange in the middle of the ring. Collided in the ring. Grimes rolled over for a long 2 counts. Grimes mounted Johnny for some rights. Super kick by Gargano. Grimes hit his own super kick. Big DDT by Gargano. And that's set up for the DIY kick, but Grimes cut it off. Gargano surprised Grimes off the ropes with a Gargano escape, which looked beautiful, and he tapped out before the hold was even applied. And that's that. Again, back to what I said in the beginning. Cameron Grimes is great. This was a great test for Johnny. This was Johnny's first singles match in a very long time, and I don't think they could have chosen a better opponent. And like I said before, Grimes is not on TakeOver. Johnny is. Johnny got the win. You could see where they're potentially going with a feud after he's done with Balor. Awesome stuff. Absolutely awesome stuff. Easily the match of the evening. Kathy Kelly got with Adam Cole. Not literally, because he's with Britt Baker. And Britt Baker's the talk of the town after Dynamite. So, Kathy Kelly caught up to Adam Cole. Cole said that tonight he'd teach Kushida a lesson in the main event. He said he'll teach another lesson to Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver. He said Ciampa will do a lot to win, but he'll do anything to hold onto his championship. Back to the Broserweights. They were on one of those duck paddle boats. And this is where Matt Riddle comes to just feel at ease and think. Riddle says he comes to do this just when he wants to escape and think. And then Riddle says, bro, I got an idea on how to get to Portland. And they're paddling it off into the distance. And who knows what's next from these two guys. Robert Stone And Chelsea Green cut a promo. And Robert Stone said that, Kaden Carter, this is a warning. Next week, there will not only be a rematch, but a relaunch of the Robert Stone brand. Chelsea Green made a threat and said that she is going to defeat Kaden Carter. And that's pretty much it. I expected a rematch this week, but it looks like we're getting it next week, and I expect Chelsea Green to get a win over Kaden Carter in that upset that we seen last week. Lio Rush versus Angel Garza, number one contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. This one was surprising. It went 10 minutes, and I expected Angel Garza to get the match with Jordan Devlin. First of all, get the win here, get the match with Jordan Devlin, and then lose to Jordan Devlin because Garza hasn't been pinned for the Cruiserweight Championship. The outcome was surprising to me, and the outcome shows us that Garza is not only done with 205 Live at the Cruiserweight Championship, but he's done in NXT, period. So this was kind of surprising to me. I thought they'd go the other way, but they built up Lio Rush for a match with Jordan Devlin, and I can't wait to see that. They tried their best to give us a slightly different match with some of the same sequences mixed in. They did have some different sequences here, but mostly this was the same match that we've seen from them last time, but just cut down by, I'd say, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. So Lio hit a tope as we went to commercial, came back from commercial. Lio Rush hit a tope. Lio went to the apron, hit a corkscrew senton, back into the ring. Rush kicked Garza and cover for 2. We got some, what looked to be yes kicks by Lio Rush, or something along the lines of yes kicks. Garza popped up, hit a big knee, spinning heel kick by Rush, super kick by Garza. Double underhook, and he turned that double underhook into a face slam by Garza for a 2 count. And then Mauro and Nigel started laughing at each other because Mauro asked Nigel on commentary. I had to put this in my notes. Mauro asked Nigel, did you ever see a move perform like that before? And then Nigel says, yeah, I've done that quite a few times in my past. And they started joking about it and laughing over it because I know I've never seen something like that before. So, they were having a good time about it. Both guys went up top. Angel wanted the wing clipper from the top. And Rush hit a stunner from the top, which looked devastating. He didn't get all of it, but it was enough. So Garza rolled away, and Lio could not make the cover after the top rope stunner. Rush went to the top rope. He hit the final hour on the outside. Back in. Rush wanted the final hour on the inside, but Garza put the knees up. Garza pulled up Rush into the wing clipper, but Lio hit a chancery and rolled through for the pin. At first, I didn't think Rush got the shoulders down because they were rocking back and forth, but it looked like he did get the shoulders down, and then towards the end of that 3 count, it looked like Rush really snapped in that roll-up and got the surprise win over Angel Garza. Surprise, I say, because I thought Garza was going to get a shot at the title he never lost, but Lio Rush got the win. Now, Garza inevitably is on his way to the main roster, and it looks like after tonight, that is a done deal. It is confirmed. He's going to make his home on Monday Night Raw. He's going to stay with Zelina Vega. He'll probably be factored into the United States Championship title picture. I am afraid for any NXT talent that goes to the main roster, but if you look at Garza and don't think he's ready for the main roster, you're a fool. Like, I don't want him on the main roster selfishly because, look at everybody else that has made the main roster from NXT. War Raiders, Aleister Black, Ricochet, right? You got the Street Profits who are not cool anymore. I usually say on the podcast, and my buddy Jesse says, remember when the Street Profits were cool? We don't want to sit here every week and say, remember when Angel Garza was cool. I don't know how you could look at Angel Garza and not book this guy into fucking superstardom. You look at Angel Garza, the guy's got fucking superstar, megastar written all over him. They cannot possibly fuck this up. But it's Monday Night Raw, and everything Monday Night Raw touches usually turns to shit. As long as he's not on SmackDown, but there's no way you could look at Angel Garza and not think this guy's ready. He's absolutely ready. He's been ready. Just been treating us to how great he is in NXT. He's ready. Lio Rush is getting the match with Jordan Devlin. I can't wait to see what those guys do. This is a great match. I think any match Lio Rush is in is a great match. Mix it up with Jordan Devlin, it's going to be a fucking classic. Might be a match of the year candidate. But why the match is not happening on TakeOver, I don't know. You want to add a 6th match to TakeOver. Why are you adding another women's match? Why are you adding Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox? That could be best served for Full Sail. I don't mind it. I think they're going to kill it in a street fight. But what would I rather see? I'd rather see Jordan Devlin and Lio Rush tear it down in front of 10,000 plus at a TakeOver instead of another women's match that really didn't have any heat to begin with. That's just my take on that. The Cruiserweight Championship, I've been saying this for the longest time. I've said it when Rush was the champion and Garza was about to win the championship. I'm going to say it here again. Rush is not winning the championship back just because of the rumors of, or the news of HBK being so high on Jordan Devlin. They deserve a TakeOver match. That championship deserves a TakeOver match. That division deserves a TakeOver match. If you look at consistency, it's the Cruiserweight division. It's the Cruiserweight Championship. There's no division, there's no championship in the company that's been more consistent as giving you 4.5, 5-star matches than the Cruiserweight Championship. Let that title get on a TakeOver. Let a Devlin, let a Rush, let a Garza, let a Swerve go out there on a TakeOver show, make their star brighter, and get that championship in front of those people. Because I know they'll kill it. That's just my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you guys think about that. Jordan Devlin hit the ramp after the show. Speaking of Devlin, he met Rush on the ramp, and he said this. He said, Rush is the next stop on Jordan Devlin's Cruiserweight Championship tour, and next week, where the match is taking place, it's going to kill it, but I would rather at a TakeOver. He said, Rush, next week, I'm going to show you why you should never bet against an ace. The Irish ace. I love that. It was such an awesome line. Mark Henry hosted a video package promoting Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic. And Mark Henry's one of the best big men in all of WWE, Hall of Famer. And he ran down the accomplishments and the attributes of both of these big guys for the North American Championship match at TakeOver. Keith Lee, what he did at Survivor Series, what he did in the Royal Rumble was highlighted. Sometimes he looks unbeatable. You know, he's a 320-pound guy who could do all the typical big man stuff and fly like a cruiserweight, fly like Rey Mysterio. He said the same thing about Dominic Dijakovic. He could launch himself over the top rope like The Undertaker and then fly off the top rope like a cruiserweight, you know? And you mix both of these guys' attributes together with the North American Championship on the line, who knows what these guys are going to do for the North American Championship. We know from past experience that these two have great matches together, but Henry sitting there talking about what is potentially going to happen and what has happened between these two in their history was a great sell for what should be the match of the night on TakeOver. This is going to be my match of the night. Gargano, Balor, you expect it's a 5-star classic. Ciampa, Cole, you expect a 5-star classic. What I think is going to be the match that's going to take everybody's breath away is what Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee is going to do. I can't wait. And having Mark Henry there, it just added on top of what we already know about these guys. Big men who defy the odds, who can do whatever the fuck they want, who do things unnatural to men their size. Mark Henry was the perfect spokesman for that. It came off great. Santana Garrett versus Bianca Belair. I blinked and this one was over. Now, seeing that this match ended in less than a minute, we got a spear, a standing moonsault by Belair, and a KOD. Thank you for showing up to work, Santana Garrett. I don't know why this really needed to happen. We kind of knew Bianca Belair was at the peak of whatever she's doing right now in NXT. We didn't really need to bury Santana Garrett here, who really hasn't had a fair shot yet at getting over with the Full Sail crowd. She came out to no reaction, then she got buried, and before you know it, she's walking right to the back. It probably took her longer to lace her boots than this match took place. So Bianca Belair took the microphone, and she said, "Is she invisible or something? Hello? I'm right here. Rhea wants to go to Monday Night Raw to call out Charlotte. It's as if I don't even exist. And keep playing with me," she says. "I will be the new NXT." And then boom, Rhea Ripley comes out. Rhea smiled, and she got into the ring. She asked for a microphone, and she assured that Bianca isn't looking, or she assured Bianca that she's not looking past her. She's looking right at her, and at TakeOver, she'll go right through her. So we had a little scuffle heel back and forth. We got two women trading blows. Bianca looked like she got knocked down, and then Bianca came back and laid out Rhea Ripley with a shot and a KOD, and she started dancing around the champion, which could be a foreshadowing for TakeOver. Now, it looks like they might go with Rhea, but if they pull off a swerve here, I, A, would not be shocked, and B, would actually prefer it. I really would. We'll talk about that on Sunday when I go live on YouTube, and we'll talk about the NXT TakeOver preview and predictions. I'm going with Bianca. I would rather Bianca. I want Bianca and Charlotte at WrestleMania instead. I think that's the better match. Just me. And I know a lot of people agree with me. And if Bianca doesn't get the championship and doesn't win, I would say book a fuck finish at TakeOver and get both of them on WrestleMania and in a triple threat match. Normally, I like a one-on-one match better. That's, to me, WrestleMania. I don't like muddying WrestleMania up with triple threat matches, but Rhea is so hot, and Bianca, you can't really disparage Bianca. You can't get, Bianca and put her on the side, warming like she's some fucking side dish. She is just as hot, if not hotter, than Rhea Ripley right now. I'd say book the triple threat match. It's going to be very interesting, man. That's the one outcome I really can't see yet at TakeOver. I want to say Rhea. I want to say Bianca. I have a case for both to win, but if they gave me the swerve, you ain't going to hear a fucking complaint from me at all. The Broserweights loaded their cup. The idea from Matt Riddle was to take a plane. Now, there was a private charter plane that they were standing in front of, and Riddle shoved Dunn into the cargo area of the plane with the trophy. He slammed the door behind him, and they're in this cargo section of the plane. So whose plane is it? Pete Dunne asks. So all of a sudden we see Triple H in his jumpsuit on the phone. It's Triple H's private plane. So he gets in the plane, and they're flying to Portland, and they're aboard Triple H's plane. Man, that punishment for Matt Riddle is so bad for what he did and said about Brock Lesnar during Royal Rumble weekend. Give me a break. Folks, it was all a work. It was all a work. Because if he was really punished, why would he be on Triple H's private jet? Why would they be giving him this treatment? Why would they have a segment with Riddle and Triple H on the same show? Why would they be setting them up to win the NXT Tag Team titles? Man, if that's a punishment, lay it on me, bro. Lay it on me. I wish I was punished that way. Give me a break. Tommaso Ciampa sat in a theater room, and this was a beautiful backdrop for this promo. If you guys watched the documentary on Tommaso Ciampa when they uploaded it to the PC YouTube channel, this was the setting. Triple H had Tommaso Ciampa relinquish the title there. Neck brace and all. He's standing there wearing the neck brace. He gave up the title in front of the entire roster. He wanted to break down and cry. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know if he was going to be back. He didn't know if he'd ever come back to wrestling again. A lot of question marks. And I felt sad for him. I mean, you watch this, you can't do anything but tear up for the guy after everything he's done and given us and how just unbelievable he was in that role. Tommaso Ciampa sat in this theater room, the same setting in which he gave up the NXT Championship. And he was watching this film of him handing over Goldie to Triple H in front of the entire roster. He said there were a lot of what ifs. What if he gave away his biggest shot? Now we're full circle, 4 days away from TakeOver Portland. Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa for the championship he never lost. What if there's one guy who wants it more than Adam Cole? What if that guy is Tommaso Ciampa? He'd go into TakeOver Tampa on WrestleMania weekend, and all eyes would be on him. They say a man is most dangerous when he has nothing to lose. When you look into my eyes, you will know exactly how true that is. He says everything comes full circle. He wanted to walk into WrestleMania last year as the NXT champion. This year, he says everything comes full circle, and in Tampa, he will be walking into WrestleMania weekend with Goldie and with the NXT championship. This was awesome. Just a great promo by Ciampa, set up the match beautifully, gave you the backstory that you needed, that little extra cherry on top of the cake. Great shit. Great shit by Ciampa. Main event, Kushida, Adam Cole, non-title. This was fun. This one went 12 minutes. And again, the same premise that I've been preaching throughout this entire show. Everybody on TakeOver won, and everybody that wasn't on TakeOver looked strong and got the loss, which we could look into the future. This could be a potential feud following TakeOver. Who knows? But this was a really fun match. I really want Kushida to go to that next level. I could absolutely see some classics from him if they put him into that maybe North American Championship title picture. I could see him challenging for the NXT Championship. When the time is right, he's too good not to. So they go to commercial break, and we come back from commercial break. Kushida was getting back into it after Adam Cole beating him down. He put Cole out on the apron. In the corner, Cole went up, but Kushida hit a handspring kick to Cole, followed him up. Cole fought off Kushida, but Kushida hopped up to the top, hit a quick DDT, and transitioned that into a submission. Cole frantically reached for the ropes. He got it. Kushida went for sliced bread into the hoverboard lock. Cole rolled through and hit a Shining Wizard for a 2 count. Kushida and Cole exchanged punches in the middle of the ring. Kushida had 80% of the crowd in the palm of his hands at this point, which is rare because Adam Cole is a heel, but everybody loves Adam Cole. Cole hit a Ushigoroshi, and he hit another Ushigoroshi, 2 Ushigoroshis for a 2 count. Morrow mentioned that he picked that move up in Japan when he was a part of the club. I don't know why he said that. Could be a foreshadowing of something. I've been saying that I think Undisputed Era is done. They may get called up before WrestleMania. They may feud with the OC at WrestleMania. I don't know. The tie-in is there. That was a weird comment by Morrow to mention New Japan and then mention the Bullet Club. I don't know. We'll see. Cole hit a super kick for a big 2 count. Cole went up top for his Panama Sunrise, but Kushida blocked it, held on for the hoverboard lock. Kushida rolled Cole further into the center of the ring. Cole was able to roll Kushida over to break, sunset flip, and we got a reversal here, back and forth for a 2 count. Pele kick by Kushida, and we got some stiff kicks by Kushida to follow. Cole cut off Kushida, who came charging in with a super kick for 2. Cole finally landed the last shot, and that was it. Really good stuff here. I could see these two doing some more in the future if Cole's not called up. And Adam Cole, NXT champion, of course, gets the win onto his big match in Portland against Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa's music hit. He stalked Adam Cole, came walking down the ring, very slow and methodical like a predator. Adam Cole held his championship belt up in his face. The both of them stood in the ring, staring at each other. Psycho Killer chants in Full Sail. They met in the middle of the ring face to face and exchanged some words as the show went off the air. No blows, though. No blows. If this was a Monday Night Raw go-home show, there would have been a fucking Pier 6 brawl, and all of this would have been right out the window. All the excitement and the intrigue would have been out the window. They did it right here to close NXT. This was a very good go-home show. I honestly think that Monday Night Raw and SmackDown can take a couple of lessons from NXT. It was direct. It was in your face. Everybody that needed a win got a win going into TakeOver. They set up future feuds. But like I said, the one thing about AEW and NXT on Wednesday nights that's the talk of the town is, why aren't you watching NXT? Some people think it's boring. I hear it every fucking week. NXT is boring. I don't see how it's boring because I love pro wrestling and I love the characters that have been developed on this show. I love seeing these characters progress and get better week by week. It's not boring. There's just no sense of unpredictability, where AEW has this sense of excitement around it and has this sense of unpredictability around it. You never know what's going to happen. And I love that environment that they've created for themselves over there. But this was a great go-home show, and I'm excited for TakeOver on Sunday night, which I will cover in-depth, detailed, as always, Sunday night. And remember, I will be going live. You'll get the notification, so make sure you follow me on Twitter and follow me on YouTube. I will be going live early in the afternoon with some preview and predictions, and we'll go over the conference call for NXT TakeOver that Triple H overseen for the media on Tuesday afternoon. So thank you guys so very much for everything. Hit that thumbs up, and I will see you all right back here for Friday's episode of OTS, episode 313, part number 1, to start your weekend off the right way. Guys, tonight I will be on YouTube. I have a off-the-script pre-show, I guess, 1 hour of podcast content live here on YouTube. Make sure you tune into that. Major story with John Cena and his WrestleMania opponents, and WWE giving him full creative over whatever he wants to do at WrestleMania. So look forward to that tonight around 7:30, 8 o'clock on the channel. Again, hit that thumbs up, follow me on social media, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys not only tonight, but tomorrow for episode 313 of OTS. See you guys then.